We are going to continue now with music theory. This will be music theory number 9 and will be in the music folder. Now, where we left off last time, we were talking about time and in measures and using other uh, notes to substitute for a quarter note in 4/4 time. Now, that's what we were talking about last time. And now, before we go on from there, I will show you something at the bottom of the page I was on before, which is something we won't go into now, but it's very important. We'll get there eventually. Now, remember, we were talking about how the places between the lines, like this, give you how much beats and what kind of note is in each measure. That's a measure right there. So we've done this so far. We've done those substitutes, but there are two more things that can be used. Now, if we look on the bottom, what these are two more symbols, which are more interesting but more complicated. So we'll deal with those later. But one is a tie. Now, you see right here, see that right there? That is a tie. Okay? And that's one. And then the other is a dot. Now, what the tie and the dot do, I will talk about later, but it makes something out of this in addition to what we've talked about already. Now, what we're going to do next, we're going to talk about measuring pitch. Now, we've talked so far about measuring time. That's the standard we had for using this line instead of just these lines to show you how much time there is and how long it's gone and how long it goes and what kind of notes you use to get the time the way you want it to be. Now, the next thing is pitch. Now, as we said before, what does pitch mean? Pitch means how high sounding a note is or how low sounding a note is. When you play it on any instrument, whether you sing it, whether you play it on the piano keyboard, which has, of course, the piano keyboard has lots of notes, starting way down the bottom and way up the top, tons of notes on it. So now that's the thing. So when you're playing a note by any instrument, what is the pitch? How high or how low is it? Or what is the name of it, for example? Does it have a name? How do you decide that? Well, as we've said, pitch are high and low notes. Now, the first thing to use of something that is already familiar with the language of words, it is the alphabet. Now, we're all familiar with an alphabet. We use it all the time to write words and all that. Lines are given letter names to identify the pitch notes. Lines are given letter names to identify the pitch notes. The further down the alphabet a note is, the higher it is. The earlier on the note of the alphabet is, the lower it is. Now, there is something unique in the language of music. Music uses only one first 7 letters of the alphabet. It only uses the first 7 letters of the alphabet. A, B, C, D, E, F, G. That's it. Those 7 letters make up the names of all the notes on all the lines, no matter how low or how high they are. They are the alphabet, and there are only that many names in the alphabet that are used. Why is it that way? Well, that will be what we'll discuss in a moment, because this gives you the whole idea of how pitch is made and what is the standard that we have to use to decide what note is higher or lower and how we can tell that when we are reading music, playing music, or listening to music. We will continue now shortly with this idea of A, B, C, D, E, F, G, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 letters that are used for the sound or pitch of music. We will return to that momentarily.